All right, this is the second part of the AutoStages tutorial. This time a look at season mode specifically. So if you're looking for the video on race flow and setting up custom stages, check out part 1 of the tutorial, which is linked in the description. So season mode allows you to run a full campaign of a NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, or Truck season all the way through the playoffs and the Championship 4. The first thing you'll want to note is that you do not have to use the create a season functionality within iRacing to keep track of any scoring. AutoStages scoring system works completely different than the one that's built into the sim, so no need to do anything there. It's not going to hurt anything if you do a season within iRacing, but you don't have to do that. I would encourage you to do single races, so set up your stages as you'd like, and the main thing you'll need to do is check the Cup, Xfinity, or CTS season checkbox in the middle here to make sure that by the end of the race, AutoStages can see that. If you forget to check one of these boxes mid-race or something, you can head over and, oh crap, I forgot, and click one of these, make sure it's active, but just be sure that this is active by the cooldown period at the end of the race. So let's click on Start Race. Cup season is active. This will be a Cup race, race number 1. And if you look at the folder structure on the right here, we're going to be taking a peek at the Cup season folder in just a little bit once this race comes to a close. Coming to the end of the first race in our season, what AutoStages does once we hit the cooldown period is it will look at this config folder within your season folder to see if there's anything in there. If this folder is empty, AutoStages is going to create a brand new season for you. Last lap. What we'll see is the config folder filled with a file, race results, and the season standings will pop up right next to it there. Cooldown has begun. Our files are showing up. Let's start with the race results folder. So this will hold all of your race results from your season. So you'll see the Martinsville Speedway results popping up here, just as it did with any other race with AutoStages. Backing up here to the season standings. So this is the HTML file that'll pop up during any season mode. As you can see, we have, well, if you've paid attention to motorsports in the last 50 years, you know exactly what this table looks like, right? Brad Keselowski won that race. He is bolded with an asterisk because he has won his way into the playoffs. You'll see driver points, how many they are behind the leader of the season. You'll see playoff points. Keselowski won the stage and won the race, which means he comes away with 6 playoff points in our little sprint there. Some advanced stats are kept on the right side as well. Let's head back to the Cup season folder and probably the most important part of your season experience. So this folder has the Cup SeasonInfo.xml file. What this is the text file that holds all of the information about your season. So the Cup SeasonInfo.xml file is extremely important because this holds all of the data to track the season and all of the drivers competing in that season. So the next time we run a race with AutoStages with Cup season active, what the program does is it will read this file and update all of the information within at the end of the race. Starting at the top, this race's run number is extremely important. So once this number hits 26 in our Cup season, it means we are at the end of the regular season and the playoff tracking will begin. Race winners and tracks are kept here in this section here. And let's find Brad Keselowski, who won our first race. You can see he comes away with 6 playoff points as we saw in the standings file. His round of 16 set the true. Why? Because he clinched his playoff position with a win. So just as the season goes in real life, that's how it works here. It's literally just a true-false. And then the program at the end of the regular season will track who's in, who's out, and so on. Let's keep in mind, drivers are added to the season based on their name, not the car number. So what we'll do for race number 2 is we will add some drivers that did not compete in this race, and you'll see them added to our standings as we conclude race number 2. We are getting set to go in race number 2. AutoStages is active. Cup season is checked. And we made a little change to our roster this time. We have the number 88 of Shane Van Gisbergen, which has been added to our field here. Justin Haley has been removed. Added one, removed one. We'll see how that interacts with our Cup season info file at the end of race number 2. End of race number 2, Bubba Wallace has won the race. We are going to see a few things happen with our Cup season folder on the right. Once we reach the cooldown, 168 hours, and here we go. So inside of the race results folder, now we have a second race results file from our race here at Richmond. Our season standings, let's take a look. Bubba Wallace won the race. He's now tied at the top. He's clinched his playoff position, playoff points updated, and everything else as well. Average finish position, all that stuff. And it's showing after 2 races. Let's see how that interacted with our part-time drivers. So let's go back to the config folder, and we have a second file that has been created inside. What AutoStages did is it detected that we had a Cup season info file, and it created a backup of that Cup season info file before any changes were made. That allows us to rerun this race if there were any glitches, or if anything goes wrong on your end, or you couldn't finish in time, or anything goes wrong, you have a backup. You can save that anywhere, resume your season if you want. But that's what happens beforehand. Let's go into the Cup season info file. As you can see at the top, races run has been increased to 2. Our second winner, Bubba Wallace, has been added to our tracking. Let's go see SVG at the bottom here. He has been added to our standings as he is showing up as a brand new driver, tracked by his name and not his car number. So let's do a little test here. Let's change some numbers in our season info file. Races run, we'll set that to 25. So what AutoStages will do when it detects this file is it'll say, okay, we have run 25 races. This is now the 26th. And now the playoffs will begin since we are in a Cup season format. So let's see what happens at the beginning of the playoff rounds. Season race number 3 coming to a close at Iowa Speedway. Let's make another little change to our Cup season info file as Bowman finishes the last race. See how quickly I can do this. Let's change Shane Van Gisbergen's round of 16 to true. And let's look inside of our Cup season folder one more time. So, a couple new files in here. Now we have a final regular season standings file, which will show the full regular season standings for the entire season here. That'll pop up just once at the end of 26 races. In this case, we kind of skipped ahead by changing our Cup season info file. Playoff standings round of 16 is now active. You can see the top 16 drivers that made it into the playoffs. Most of these are based on their point totals, as we didn't have many winners in our 3-race regular season. But you can see Shane Van Gisbergen won his way into the playoffs because we have set his round of 16 to true in our Cup season info file. So you can see how easily you can manipulate that file. And if we go back over to the config file one more time, you'll see that things have been updated one more time all the way through, and races run. See, this number also can be manipulated in any way, right? I can increase our races run to skip ahead through the regular season. I can actually take this back to 1 if I want to run a longer season. Whatever you want to do, like, you can just kind of change stuff in here. It's not completely foolproof, but change things and manipulate as you need to. So that is a little look at the season mode of iRacing AutoStages. A little closer look into the file structure and how you can kind of manipulate things to work the way you'd like them to. Any more questions, send them my way. And for now, have fun. See ya.